Well, I guess it's live. I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of in the. If you ever seen like the Uncle Brian channel, well, he's in a slightly brighter setting, but not by much. There you go. He does videos, but that's not the point of this one. My brother, okay, today, I was asking him. He's a little younger than I. He's a Chicago cop. So are my two sisters. My one brother was that was a cop. He was murdered a while back on the job, but that's neither here nor there. If he was still alive, I'd be asking him to give me a hand sometimes. But anyway, I was asking my other brother, hey, come out to the compound and lend a hand. Because all three of my kids are now on. I guess they've been put on third shift, so like overnight. Like my two girls work at. I can say it. I asked them. They work at Granger Warehouse, which Granger is a great company, by the way. But anyway, um, yeah. So they're on overnights with mandatory overtime too. And my son works for a liquor distribution company, and well, especially this time of year, from like probably a little bit before Thanksgiving. No, I would say a little bit before Halloween. Actually, they start having mandatory overtime until about a week after the New Year. Then it's like, you know, just standard time, but still, that's a union shop, and he's he's going to be working overtime for the foreseeable. My point is, right now, they're all basically out of mission because they're working overnight, all right, until the morning hours, and they're beat. They're dead to the world. It would be unfair of me to, hey, after putting in a 10-hour shift overnight, swing by the compound and give me a hand for 5 hours. No, I'm not doing that. So then, for the past couple of weeks, I've been asking my brother, who only has occasional overtime being a police officer. Um, they have in Chicago they have a 6 day on, 2 day off schedule. Plus, they also get PTO. So he's got a floating 2 day weekend. You know, where he could actually spare like at least he could spare part of one of them days. I, dude, I'm putting them on blast on my YouTube channel because you know what? They hate that shit. Let's see, man, I wish I was in your area. I'd sure give you a hand. Well, yeah, you're too far away, so I just wouldn't you? Thanks for the offer. I wouldn't even bother asking. But yeah, you look like you look like the perfect kind of guy that would be able to get something done at least. You know what I mean? You're not from just like like an like like I'm an alien, visiting the Earth. That guy looks like a perfect working specimen. No, actually, you do, because I can tell. Like Jinx doesn't look like he's all broke down. I can't have somebody that's like a Jabba or a Barry Dreamer, because those people would be all talking, like, yeah, they'd be a hazard actually to have around. So anyway, my brother was telling me, why don't you just uh, hire like a local kid? And I'm like, no. You know what? Even though it seems like a good idea, this is not like helping with like some little gardening project or something in your backyard, you know, or your front yard for that matter, like raking leaves. This is scrapping. So what do I do if I have like, I don't know, your random 12-year-old to like maybe 19-year-old or whatever helping at the compound and they get hurt? I don't have enough insurance to cover that. So if anybody ever has that idea to have some youngin that would rather be in their own house playing video games, hey, give me a hand with all the scrap stuff. No. It's like unless you're a kid that's seasoned around the scrap like all my kids are, and you know they grew up around it, and they know what broken glass is. Here, let's put it this way. It's for about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Um, Bob from Gill Skills channel, he brought his son out to go and visit the compound. Well, guess what? Bob from Gill Skills channel is making videos of being around the compound, and they're inside the warehouse there, and sure enough, his son, I don't know what he was doing. He was like moving a ceiling fan or something like that, and the way I handle stuff is stuff thrown around, whatever. He reached over and he grabbed it, and it had a jagged piece of a broken light bulb attached to it, and it ripped a big gash in his arm. It had this big butterfly, and I remember I put that in one of my YouTube videos, and even back then YouTube, because you can't show blood and all that, they immediately demonetized that video, so I took it down, and I re-uploaded, an edited version without showing, because I think the thumbnail had a picture of him with a huge gauze bandage on his arm or his hand or whatever. That was pretty much the end of the day, though, with Bob and his kid, because he had to take his kid to, I don't know if they went to they went to immediate care or something like that, like a little doc in the box type of operation to go. And kid had to get a couple of stitches. So do you think I'm going to go and have some neighborhood kid come and do, like I didn't learn my lesson from the first time around? I'm lucky I didn't get my ass sued by Bob. Or, by the mom, you know what I mean? Bob's wife. Probably when he went back home to Maine, he got Bob from Gill Skills probably got a frying pan, like, smashed against his head. Not funny, not funny, though. So, that's where we're at with that. My brother comes up with this great idea. It's not a great idea. Oh, let me look at some of these responses here. I get around pretty decent. Yeah, you do, Jinx. I mean, I've seen the videos and stuff like that. Cruiser Mac is here. Hey, Marty. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, King. That's Jinx. Jerry C. What's up, Scrap? Going up your way? Nope, it's going down. Scrap is going down. Yeah, no, it's going down. Let's see. Karen. Hi from the UK. Hello. I didn't even see that response there. Hello from the UK. Well, Jinx did. Hi, Karen. Karen Menken, hi. Gill Skills. Scrap Kingdom is live. Great to see you, or not see you. Yeah, we're in the Uncle Brian style. Here's my brother. Kind of hard when I work full-time job. So see, he is watching my video here. Let me see if I can bring that down there. That response from him. Kind of hard when I work a full-time job, which doesn't include travel time. Then Joliet is another hour and a half. Damn. Wow. He's peeved. The only way to actually elicit a real response from my sibling, his response, his texting response was in all caps. Okay, it's pretty hard, but it's not impossible, dude. And you know what? I'd drive all the way into that stupid city of Chicago with all those red light cameras and whatnot if you needed a hand with, you know, whatever. I mean, Chicago's got all these red light cameras and speed cameras, you know, parking rules, and it's really bad. Cruiser Mac, howdy, Bob. Gil Skills, howdy. So how's Marty tonight, Gil Skills? Well, hey Bob, I put my brother on blast on YouTube here, live, and I actually got a text message from him in all caps. He's he's peeved. He's being called out publicly. Oh well. Anyway, my brother, hey Bob, my brother was saying, why don't you get a kid from the neighborhood and stuff? This is not a gardening project, dude. and you know firsthand, you know, you brought your kid to the compound and he got a big old gash on his arm helping and stuff like that. You had to go to immediate care or whatever and get some stitches, and that was pretty much the end of the day. And I'm sure when you went back to Maine, your wife Melissa probably smacked you over the head with the frying pan. Scrap garden. That's Cruiser Mac. Scrap it. They will come. Yeah, right? Karen, that's cops for you. Don't it? Want help? The real people need to go, yeah, right? Yeah, I guess if I had a box of Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, he might show up for to eat half the donuts and drink the coffee and shoot the breeze and to probably tell me all the stuff that I'm doing wrong, and then look at his watch and, hey, I gotta go. I mean, nice job if you can get it. You know what I mean? You just gotta watch you know, in Chicago, you gotta watch the occasional murderer guy that, cause, you know, I lost my brother several years back there when he was working as a cop, dusting for fingerprints. Somebody came up from behind him and shot him. Let's see, Gil Skill says, if you had a box at Dunkin', oh yeah, no, I know that's a stereotype about cops, but it's kind of true. I don't know why they like the donuts, but they do. Jinx, you gotta be tough to live. Oh yeah, I know. That's how my brother got killed. He was working dusting fingerprints on a Mustang that was being stored in the garage, and somebody broke into the garage and stole some items off of the car. You know, like they took the radio and the stereo and the booming box and the trunk and the seats and stuff like that. And this dude had been in and out of the prison system many times, and he was only 19 years old. And he had about 20 visits to Cook County Jail, and most of them were gun charges. but they keep letting them out until the big thing happens. So, Apollo Man, hey King. Yep. Bob from Gilsco says there's always a degree of risk when you're working with the scrap. Oh yeah, that's true. I know I haven't done these lives in like forever because I couldn't actually get the thing working. Geez, man, that sucks. That's jinx. Yep. Uh, the murderer took the best unit of the family. Okay. So not that my sisters are no good, but they're ladies. Lady cops. I mean, they they might help with like shit around the house, like hey, you need a hand with this or that, but they're not going to they're not going to be lifting scrap metal and tires and junk and stuff like that, or moving big heavy things. They're just not going to do it. And I'm not going to ask. Gills, I gotta get you on my YouTube live stream sometime. And that Bob from Gilsco's live stream, that thing seems to come up like when I'm busy working, which I'm always busy working. Maybe if Bob from Gilsco's has a live stream like at 2 a.m. in the morning. It can't be at like 5 in the morning though, because I go and get my daughter from her work using her car that I put together for her, that gray Saturn, so she can get some drive time. Let's see who is. This is Jinx. Boy, I got a story to tell you one day about my buddy getting murdered. This print is really small, so it's hard to see on this little iPhone 6 or whatever this is. I would have been the one giving those kids the ride they had asked for before they would have killed me. Wow, about 5 years ago. What the hell? Why would they do something like that? Evening, Marty. Great chat. Steel and Tree. Steel and Tree resale. Oh, you know what happened today? Like, I'm telling like stupid stories. A long time ago, I had the Gill Skills. That's pretty crazy. Yep. Dude, it was wild. Kids got on that. Oh, bath salts. Well, you know what? In Chicago, the guy that, the 19-year-old that killed my brother, and he also killed the person that he robbed the car, the car parts from. He also killed him. He was ex, a retired CHA police officer. That's Chicago Housing Authority, for anybody that doesn't know. He killed him too. But he wasn't on bath salts. Believe it or not, he was not on drugs. It's it's just the way things are in the city. A lot of those people that do the killing, or you know, or they're one of the nicknames, the street nicknames is, "Hey man, there goes a plug." A plug is somebody that's got a gun that's going to go and shoot, one of the ops, opposition. It's a hellhole. My brother and my two sisters keep insisting that the west side of Chicago is actually worse than the south side. But I don't know. I'm not a cop, but I lived in Chicago, and I'm here to tell you that the south side is actually worse than the west side. All right? I mean, I'm not really trying to disparage their professional opinion and experience, but the south side is a pure hellhole. All right? Where the west side of Chicago at least fakes like it's got some sort of hope going for it. Plus, the West Side ghetto is not as big and expansive. I mean, it only goes a few miles, from the west part of downtown Chicago, out west. Because after that, you got the western suburbs, which are not ghetto. So, but on the south side, it's basically ghetto all the way from Soldier Field. I'm exaggerating slightly. The Soldier Field area south, going south all the way, like probably about 300th Street. So that would put you way in the south suburbs, like even out of the county. It's sketchy. Dalton, Lansing, Illinois, Calumet City, Blue Island, Posen, Phoenix, Ford Heights. Ford Heights is probably the worst. Let's see who's. I'm missing a lot of these people here. Hey, Mike. All these people are. I'm yapping. I'm not even responding to you guys. Sorry. That's less than 800 people, huh? This was in a very small town. It's less than, wow. You got like killers like that? What town is that? Because, just for shits and giggles, I go on Zillow looking at houses that, like, oh, this might be interesting to, like, get into the rehabbing of houses. And you see a lot of, like, cheap, inexpensive houses in small towns. But if you got, like, super psycho crazy killers like that, wow, I'd be afraid. Even phone the cops in the UK, appear a week later. What? You don't even phone the cops in the UK and they appear a week later? Holy crap. I've seen some of those videos and stuff like that of people in the UK, and this is not like directly the same thing, but that stupid television tax. You have the BBC goons coming to your door and trying to get in past the threshold to go and see if you got a fucking TV. Screw it. If I lived there, there wouldn't be a TV in the house. I'm not paying a telly tax. we gotta hide the. I remember. Well, we got distant relatives that live in Ireland and the UK, and I remember a long time ago them telling me about the teletax, and they would go around in vans that had antennas on them, and they could detect whether you were watching TV or not. And I guess it's for the BBC because they don't have commercials. Well, you know what? Let the BBC collapse and fold. Either that or they should put commercials on, okay? And get on with it. I can't imagine ABC or NBC or CBS coming to my door, knocking on the door, asking for some funds. I'd hand them the television and tell them to get the fuck out. Let's see, Jinx Clover. I lived in this guy's trailer park. The one that got, oh, wow, really? Actually, that rough kind of people in that trailer park must be really rough. Gil Skills, it's kind of the same way here in Maine, too, Karen. I don't know, Bob. Maine seems pretty safe. Steel and Tree resale BRB. Let's see, Ghost. It's a hard life. Streaming on a cell phone, it is, and that's what I'm trying to do, isn't it? No, especially responding to you guys. The words like are so tiny, and I've got. I don't have any lighting. I should have better lighting, which wouldn't really be that hard of a thing, because it makes the video so much better to at least see the stupid face that's talking to you, you know, rather than, I don't know. Well, we don't have that right now, do we? Why would the cops come a week later? I think that's an exaggeration. You know, over in the UK. I think she's trying to be funny. Scrapping together. Hello, Marty. Bob. Hey, Bill. Karen. We haven't. We just don't pay. Ooh, well, if you don't pay, I bet you the BBC is sending the goons. And they're knocking all the time. Drapes closed. Everybody hiding. Who's out there? Now that's funny. I'll think about that a little later, even I'll be like giggling, going, knocking at the door. Who is it? Teletext. Go fuck yourself. Right? Voices on the other side of the door. That, that would be a fun job to have for like about a week or two, just for shits and giggles, going around to people's houses, knocking on for the teletext. See if you actually get people to pay up. No, she had said that it takes a week for them to show up a little. The cops are called. LOL. That's true around here. No, you know what? Around here, the the sheriff will show up in 5 minutes, and Joliet will show up in about a minute. I'm not kidding. Because yeah, me and the neighbor one time got into a huge verbal squabble, or whatever. And I called her a see you next Tuesday. While revving the engine on my truck. And she flipped me off and I flipped her off. Double bird. I guess she got a little bit worried, nervous, or whatever. And sure enough, well, I didn't stick around, of course. I went around the block, and, you know, my block is 2 blocks long, and I looked, and 5 minutes later, there's one sheriff, and then about another 5 minutes later, there's 2, and then after that, there's 3, and then my wife finally answered the door, and they're looking for me. They wanted to just talk to me. It's not illegal to use swear words, but whatever. No, around here, the cops will be here in about 5 minutes. If you do something, if you light off fireworks on a day when the whole world is not lighting off fireworks, like, you know, the 4th of July, or tomorrow evening, you know, New Year's Eve, The cops won't show up. I mean, unless you go and blow off fireworks for the next like 3 hours, then yeah, the cops will be here. But for 10 minutes, no. Let's see, scrapping together. Hello, Mac. Cruising Mac. Hello, scrapping together. Hey, Mr. Gill. See, Cruising Mac. They're not too interested in crime around here, but still, them there's a. Oh, but tell them there's a gun involved. This is Cruiser Mac, and they show up in light speed. Well, no, that's true. If you if you say like around here, if you say you heard a few gunshots, the cops will be here in a minute. But you know, if it's like some other little ticky tack stuff, um, 5 minutes. Unless it's like, unless it's a really active day, like like tomorrow, New Year's Eve, might take 20 minutes. So be safe out there. uh, what was that? You know, those George Floyd riots and stuff like that, where you know, like the whole world was on fire and stuff like that, practically. Especially like the big cities. Well, there was a little bit of ruckus out this way, and cops were everywhere. They had like the mall area like completely walled off. So you know, so yeah, the response time from cops was like, even though they were like uh, overwhelmed, they had reinforcements from smaller towns that didn't have any activity going on. Sold three of those working RVS today. I got at the curb. Wonder what that is. Steel and Tree. Back. Greetings from Eastern Tennessee. I wonder, like, how bad that Hurricane Helene damage was in Eastern Tennessee. Let's see, Karen. Only show up on blues if you're non-British here. Huh. No kidding. Huh. That's a little interesting. Karen Rankin says they only show up on blues if you're non-British here. Huh. Yeah, if it's them calling. Yep. Oh, no kidding. Well, I wonder what's with like the lackadaisical. Well, I guess it depends on what part of the UK though too. I can imagine the London metro area has got to be kind of a little bit more strict than you know like smaller towns and stuff like that, like Portsmouth or you know Crewe or you know places like that. Gill skills. Hit the like button, everybody. Steel Scrap Kingdom doesn't go live every day. It's good to talk to him live. Well, you know, I was deciding whether to make like a short video, putting my brother on blast, but you know what? Doing the live thing was highly effective, I would have to say, because his response to direct texting was very slow. We'll put it that way. Like hours in between texting and stuff like that. Speech to text is so much fun, and that's what I do. I don't really like the little keys on the cell phone, but then you get some typos and stuff like that, especially with the latest Apple update. Seems like um, there's more speech errors. And does anybody have like the latest iPhone updates? I don't like the Siri response, like the new Siri response. I got this phone from Bob from Gilskos, and I kind of got it working, sort of. Hey Siri. See, did you hear that? I hate that. Before Siri had like this, like I don't know, like this robotic, like kind of like a bell type of like, it would be like digging, but now it's like, what? Hmm? What the hell? It says, hey Siri, did you hear that? Hate that before Siri had like this, like, well, so this stupid thing is listening all the time too. Look at that. It came up, well, it's not really showing that well, but it came up with the whole box. Anyway, my point is, I don't like the new Siri thing because you can't even hear it when you're in a louder environment. Watch. Hey Siri. Hmm? Isn't that stupid? Hmm? Smash that button. That's Jinx. Scrapping together. Oh, TVs, Marty. Oh, okay. Beauregard Rippy. Hello, world. Hi, Marty. Oh, Karen Minkin, Scotland. Oh, okay. Understandable now. Let's see. John Gress. What's up, Marty? From Johnny Scrap. Oh, okay. I know that channel. I'm subbed to that channel. Beauregard. Take a vacation. Take a vacation to India. Well, funny, not funny. I mean, the people that own my wife's place of employment are of Indian descent, and their parents are from India, and every now and then they actually go on holiday or vacation to India, but just by judging the people that own that gas station, there's no way there's no way that they are visiting any of the rundown poverty areas, trust me. In India. What the hell was that? Why did it do that? My phone, it like just made like a crackle. I'm putting the power charger up to it. I don't want the battery to go dead, but whatever. Gil Skills. It's almost like she's being snobbish. Oh yeah, I know. It's like, I'm waiting. Oh yeah, they listen all the time. It does. It has to because I looked at it. I wasn't looking at the phone after I said, "Hey Siri," and it had a whole paragraph of gibberish. Hello Siri. Hey Siri. Weather for tomorrow? Expect rain tomorrow. See, now that's the standard, the way that it always did. But this drives me crazy. Hey Siri. Mm-hmm. It changes too. It goes, mm-hmm, or it will be like, uh-huh, like it's supposed to be human or something. Drives me crazy. Beauregard. Her name's Robot Jane. So this is where all the good people go, ha ha ha, scrapping alone with rentals. Uh, I have to stop for a second. How come? I might. This is a dumb question. Why is your channel named that? I watch your channel, and it's called Dancing Alone with Rentals. Um, wow, how did you arrive at that name? Larry Meyer. Good evening, King. Larry Meyer's kind of funny. All right, Gill Skills. It was fun hanging out with you tonight, Marty, and everybody in the chat, but I must go. Love the the recliner chair beckons. Bob, you're getting old. Anytime a anytime a guy is like drawn to the recliner chair, I always think of my grandpa when I think of the recliner chair, or not necessarily only my grandpa, but my wife. Uh, insists on sitting in that stupid reclining chair. I'm like, when that damn thing breaks, unless I find another one at the curb, get used to sitting on the floor. Scrapping together. Later, Gil. Scrapping for Shiva. Good evening, Marty. Who else is here? Bogart, Rippy. Any opinion on Helen Brock disappearance? And Silas Jane Gangster. Huh? What the? Helen Brock? Billionaires. Alright, this stupid phone just flashed me a message of 10% battery power remaining. Which I got a much better phone from Bob from Gill Skills, but I haven't been able to actually get it to fully work and have my use that for YouTubing, etc. It doesn't seem to. I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to accept the app or whatever for some reason. There's something wonky going on. Maybe I gotta like completely clear the phone again. Put it back to factory settings. Hopefully that's working. Bolingbrook House races. Oh, Bolingbrook horse races. What the? Where's the Bolingbrook horse races at? It must be like a little gambling house or something. Oh, Bolingbrook horse races. Bolingbrook has always been sort of a sketchy suburb. Unsolved mystery. I remember you knew that crooked cop. Oh, you mean the one from Bolingbrook? That weird. Wow. How would you like to be stopped by that creepy guy who killed 4 of his ex-wives, didn't he? And then, like, he was working on his 4th girl. And, I mean, not his 4th girl. He's actually working on a 5th girl when they locked him up. But, like, the state's attorney of Will County James Glasgow, he actually had a new law made, like a hearsay law, which is actually kind of dangerous. Beauregard, Rippey, Drew, whatever. Yeah, Drew Peterson. King, I think you would find the auditing videos funny. Oh, maybe. Oh, you mean the BBC ones? I think they would be. That's why I was saying I wouldn't mind working for the BBC, knocking on doors as a BBC goon for a couple of weeks, just for the shits and giggles and the stuff people would probably say through the closed door. Oh, just my opinion. I think people from the UK and Ireland, for that matter, say get the fuck out so much better than, well, at least a Midwest accent, a Midwestern accent. And I think there's something funny about it, like kind of like people with like a Boston accent, or you know, or a New York, kind of like an East Coast accent. You know, when they want to go and like you know, rip you apart verbally. There's something cutting about it where I don't know. The Midwest accent just doesn't work on it. It's too soft or something like that. Like the vowels are too drawn out. Just my opinion. I don't know. And a Southern accent, in my opinion, forget about it. 'Cause that whole "bless your heart" thing, it's it's meant to be a dagger, but it's just too soft. Beauregard. We would haul that copper out to the Arizona mines to Bolingbrook. No kidding. Is that for real? This message is held for a review. View message. Let's go look at it. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, this one. I can listen to Gordon Ramsay bitch all day long. I guess that's not bad. I hit show. Okay. Pin message. I guess the Google Autobots held that one in review there, Jinx. I can listen to Gordon Ramsay bitch all day long, right? No, I think that's what makes it popular because the way the accent is what does it, you know, and his fiery face, getting all pissed off. You know, it's hard to find an American that's capable of doing it like that. You know what I mean? Because it would either come off too soft or just entirely too threatening. Like, not there's like no I don't know. I can't come up with an imaginary character or real where that level of bitching would either be, if it was an American, I think it would be either come off entirely too threatening, like real, or just too soft, like what? Like shut up, dude. You know, you're a joke. You know, where Gordon, it's just the right touch of getting pissed off. Though I hope you get firewood, Betty. Why is it gonna get that cold? I guess so. Dancing alone with rentals. One of those fake plastic wooden nickel 10 millimeter, no deal. The real thing only. Bill Junking Fool, I would like to trade a 10 millimeter socket for a house. Right? That video that I made, and then the lady that was on the Ellen show, where she took a paper clip and turned it into a $250,000 house. Like, huh? What? I would like to do that. Well, let me see. Now, how do you go about doing that? Because, come on, Bill. We all know that you're actually a multi-millionaire, and you're just playing a poverty guy somewhere in Poorville, tinkering around with a few broken things. Jerry C., hope you get your firewood ready. I've been saving, scrapping together, I've been saving any Romex long enough for me to rewire my shop. I have no power in it right now. Well, you know what happened to me at the compound today, and I don't got the I don't got the fuse box inside my shop. My neighbor does, and I only got 10 amps coming into my shop. And their fuse panel, they have the whole other 90 amps because there's a 100 amp fuse box. Well, guess what? Today I couldn't open up my garage door. Because the power to the light outside, I guess, is causing a short or something like that. What's this say? Jerry C., we got it ready to go. Hello, Cruiser Mac. Change the timing gear set while you're in there. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to. I wish I had more lighting here. I mean, for all you guys know that I'm picking my nose or something, which I'm not. I'm not Mr. Java. Those channels actually give me like nightmares and stuff like that. And seal. It comes with a gasket kit. Does it? The timing gear comes with the gasket set, so it comes with the water pump gasket and the timing cover gasket. I'll have to go check. Who sells it like that? O'Reilly's? I don't like dealing with, go to Rock Auto. You know what? Go to Rock Auto, and then the wrong crap shows up on your doorstep, and now you gotta return it. Well, you know what? Oftentimes when your car is broke down right now, or you're actually working on somebody's car that wants their car ready in a couple hours, Rock Auto does not work. I hate to tell everybody on YouTube, but you know what? Rock Auto is for that car that is sitting up on blocks in your garage that you've been working on. That's when that comes in handy then. Rock Auto does not work for something that you need to get going right now. That's my point. That set comes with everything, so it makes sense instead of separate. I didn't even know that. One side of my big door, this is scrapping together. The cable broke. I've been too lazy to fix it. Well, for me, it's a calamity because I, I do a lot of unnecessary walking back and forth. If any of you guys have noticed that, and if a door doesn't work properly, that's kind of like the end of the world for me almost. I hope they're wrong, but it's supposed to get really cold in a week. I know I've seen that, Jerry. Jerry C says, I hope. Yeah, no, it's saying that it's going to be like in the negative temperatures here, like -10 below. I believe it because if you're kind of like a semi weather junkie like me, we've been getting weather from, the Gulf of Mexico, pushing relatively warmer air. I mean, you can't really say it's warm air, but relatively much warmer air pushing all the way up into Canada. Okay, and if you look at it, it's like this. The top of the weather system is rounded, and it's like a huge shovel, and it's pushing the super cold Arctic air. Has got to go somewhere, so it slips around, mostly on the western side, and comes down along the western provinces of Canada down to the Rockies, and then the western blowing jet stream then carries that super cold air across the states all the way to the Atlantic, where it catches an updraft from the Atlantic and then pushes it across the Atlantic, and it ends up somewhere between Great Britain and France, typically this time of year. So the UK ends up getting constant rain. I've got I got two trucks down. This is scrapping together, and one with the rear end going out. Oh, yeah, that's super bad times when the rear end goes out. I've only had that happen once, and when I was under the yellow pickup truck the other day, I seen it's like kind of really greasy back there. I'm like, oh, I can't have that happen, because that's what happened to one of my Chevy trucks. Is I remember about 10 years ago, I stepped on the gas and I heard like this loud bang, and the truck didn't go anywhere after that. Needed a new rear end. That's what's wrong with the white pickup truck that I have by my garage too. Is the rear end is mostly toast. It will move a little bit, but not much. Let's see. Beauregard. The tail is pulling the moisture out of the Gulf. Yes, exactly. And like the very top of it is like mushroom shaped. It's like mushroom shaped, or like a shovel or whatever at the very top, and it's right now. If you go and look on the weather app, it it looks like it's up there by the Hudson Bay. Let me go look at this real quick here. Weather junkies. I can't stand this app right here. The way it does it like that. All right, what do we got here now? No, I don't know if you can see it. You guys can't see it. I hate that. It's too bright. If there was a way of bringing it down, have the weather app on here. And up in Canada, near the Hudson Bay, well, actually, the James Bay part, It looks like 31 degrees, weather advisory. It's hazy in the high 20s. So I always look up in Canada to see what might be coming this way. So I don't know how to say the word. Cochin, unorganized, North Part. Unorganized. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's like crown lands or something. It says 5 degrees for a high on Friday. But it looks like at the bottom of the Hudson Bay. Why am I talking about that? Because that's the kind of weather that we end up getting in the wintertime. Then it's going to warm up to like a big balmy 15 degrees, and then it's going to drop back down to 9 by next Wednesday. Hey Siri, weather for Friday.
Looks like it'll be partly cloudy on Friday.
Hey Siri, weather for next Friday.
I can't check the weather that far out.
Oh, what the? Come on, liar. Hey Siri, weather for Saturday.
Should be sunny on Saturday.
Yeah, not telling how much though. When did Siri turn into like a liar? Not a complete liar. Okay, Beauregard Rippey. The tail is taking the moisture out of the Gulf. I wish I could scrap in Mexico. This is John. My God, there's so many deserted resorts, really, down there. Untouched. Copper wire all over. Oh yes, it's going to be cold here. Really? What's the cause of so many abandoned resorts in Mexico? I would imagine that, like in Mexico, being a poor country, or I don't want to offend anybody, but kind of a third world country still, right? That there'd be people, well, here in the States, especially in California, there'd be people squatting in it. Scrap and Pellet Man. Whoa. Scrap and Pellet Man. Siri doesn't know much. Oh, there's like a local scrapper that was uh, messaging me that he wanted to go to like a zombie Joliet fast food restaurant called Rax or something like that. And let's meet up with Paul the Pallet Man and whoever. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Paul's busy though. I could. Scrap and Pallet Man. She has been smoking weed. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. I wouldn't imagine that there's so many abandoned resorts. Like, what caused something like that to happen? And of all places, Mexico, because you would imagine there's so many Americans that want to go there, especially during the winter months anyway. I wouldn't do anything stupid or illegal in Mexico or any foreign country because you might not be coming back, or you might be there for a very long time. You know, not a place to go and pull. Going to foreign lands and pulling any kind of a caper. No, thank you. Pallet Man. Yeah, I got that message too. I'm not meeting up with someone I don't know. No way. I'm getting trapped in some weird social get together. Well, Paul, you got trapped in a weird social get together there at the compound now. I think Paul had an escape plan though then. Yeah, it is kind of sketchy meeting people that you were, yeah, shooting the breeze with and or making videos for quite a while, and then actually meeting them, live. All right, John is saying hurricane damage. They just build new ones. Wow. Of all places, like Mexico, that's interesting. You know what I'm gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Google Earth Mexico. Do you ever try and Google Earth like North Korea? It's it does show up, but for some reason the imaging is like it was like filmed with the potato, as they say, which I still don't understand, but okay. It's like there's a slight film over it or something. Either that or their atmosphere is horrendous, and or Google Earth, China and stuff like that. It's like the satellite pictures are from like twice the distance than of other places on Earth. Just out of curiosity, I do the goofy stuff like that. Or Cuba, I've Google Earth places like that, and the imaging it's not the best. I mean, you can make stuff out, but let's see what Palette Man. No, you guys are cool. I dig your others scrap YouTube dudes. Super bad resolution on purpose. It has to be because you Google Earth like United States and Mexico, and most of Mexico comes in really clear, or Canada. Most of Canada comes in pretty clear. Or you go over to, I don't know, various points in Europe, and it's pretty clear. But I think you might be right. Yeah, and anybody, doing this, I'm not gaslighting. You could call me out on it because, just by Google Earthing different places, like, I don't know, what are some other, because for some reason, I get up at like, 2:30 something in the morning for, I don't know why, maybe to go pee, and then my autistic brain kicks in along with the ADHD, and I'm like, let's Google Earth South Africa. Or, why? I don't know. What other places come in clear? Some places in Russia come in clear, and then like other places, it's like, what is that? It's kind of hard to tell. Or let's find some other things I could think off the top of my head. Most of Australia comes in pretty clear, except for go Google Earth Tasmania. It's like it's Google Earth through like a dirty windshield or something. That's pretty hard to you could tell their houses and stuff like that, but what other places come off the top of my head on this stupid topic that none of us knew that we'd be on? I don't know. There's points in Pakistan and India that are kind of hard to make out. Uh, that's about all I can think of. I mean, um, Greece comes in pretty clear, but it looks like it was uh, the satellite image looks like it's like 2 times the distance from other locations. Like what the hell? And why would Cuba be like kind of a little blurry? Like what's the point of that? What, there's no point in hiding anything. I mean, I don't know unless they don't want the wrong people seeing whatever. What other places come in okay or fairly clearly? Venezuela comes in all right. Most of Brazil, uh, Jamaica. Um, I don't know. I I haven't had enough like wandering mind time to like Google Earth the entire Earth yet. Give me some time. Let's see. Scrap and Pallet Man. Are you filming your videos with the same phone from years ago? Yes, I am. Your videos are crisper lately, better resolution. Did you get new gear? No, I didn't, but there are a couple of videos that I uploaded using the iPhone that I got from Bob from Gill Skills. And what I did was, because the YouTube app on that one is kind of wonky and doesn't work right, I transferred the video, by airdropping it from one phone to the other, and then uploaded off of my old phone, if that makes sense. And the phone that I got from Bob does record a lot clearer for some reason. He Before he sent it to me, it was a damaged phone before, and I guess he put an aftermarket screen on there. So sometimes, every now and then, I get this weird error message on this iPhone that I got, and it says, Apple software detects a non-Apple part. Wow, what a proprietary a-hole company. If they have the gadget that advanced where it detects and it lets you know about a non-Apple part. It said the non-Apple part may affect the function and performance of your iPhone. And it tells you to pretty much reprimands you for not using their service and tells you to bring it into an authorized Apple dealer to have it repaired correctly. Let's see. Scrap it together. I'm standing outside. Puppy wandered out. Oh, yeah. Dog's got to go poopy. Well, yeah, Pallet Man, I'm still using that phone that I actually lost out of my scrapping truck because the floor is all rusted. And I made a really hard right-hand turn, and the phone went flying out unbeknownst to me and landed in the street and was in the street, a very busy street, for about half an hour. And as I frantically retraced my steps, once I realized the phone was gone, because I, I thought it was like lost in all the garbage in my truck. So I started calling out, "Hey Siri, Well, before it used to make that bell sound and and I didn't hear the response, so I started panicking and I retraced my steps and I found my phone in the middle of the roadway and it looked like it had been driven over a couple of times. The screen's all cracked and all that, but it still works. And that's the story behind that. Looks like a lot of people have left the chat or they're just not chatting. So yeah, Paul, this guy, I guess he's got a couple of videos uploaded. I don't know. He says he's going to Florida because it's cheaper to live there. I'm like, you'll be back. Let's see. John says the cartels guard the deserted resorts. Why? Who knows? I don't know. Probably because there's some sort of strategic drug use purpose of that. That might be the secondary reason why they're actually abandoned. Is the area gets to be too rough. What a sad state of affairs. Like, Mexico being that big of a mess is actually this this is where I should actually work for the State Department. I think I missed my calling, but Mexico being in that condition like that is actually sort of a threat to the United States. But I guess the hidden agenda reason for sending factories and work there is to probably stabilize the society that is there and the economy somewhat by building our cars there and this, that, and other thing. But it's a soft diplomacy tactic, but it ends up destabilizing our society because there's no work. That's not good either. So what do you do? Do you actually pull a Putin and just like invade Mexico and try and take it over? This same thing with Canada. Do you just like say screw it and just take it over? Or tell Denmark, hey, we're going to buy Greenland? Which actually would be a very smart move, in my opinion. I don't know. Let's just think World War III strategy here. Would it be better to leave it in the ownership and hands of Denmark? So would Russia be less likely to nuke Greenland if it remained in the possession of Denmark, or if the United States decided to take it over, would it become a fresh target? If it isn't already, because there are American military bases on Greenland already anyway, so I guess as far as a nuke target, it already is. So maybe buying it from Denmark. I think that was proposed a long time ago, like 80 years ago. But I think, in my opinion, I think that would be the smartest thing. I don't think the people of Denmark would like it very much. Maybe they would, or they wouldn't miss it. I mean, it is super cold there, right? Especially this time of the year, it's like negative 40 degrees. How many people actually live there anyway? I can't imagine that many people live in Greenland. Hey Siri,
Hmm?
population of Greenland.
As of 2023, the population of Greenland was 56,609.
Oh, good God, that's like less than a. That's that population is less than a suburb of Chicago. So if we wanted to invade Greenland, it probably wouldn't be any problem taking it over. So if we can't buy it, just invade it and go. What are you gonna do? Uh, Put Guam on the auction block. No, we can't do that. That's a strategic. Look, does Putin play chess or does he play checkers? I think he plays chess. So that's an important piece on the chess stratego. Remember that game? That's an important chess piece, I think. Wow. There's a black moon? Beauregard. There's a black moon tonight. It's rare and invisible. The dark side. Well, it's all clouded over in our area, so you can't see nothing. And what happened to all those drones that were on the news and stuff? Scrapping together. My phone, scotch tape holding the screen on. I bet you that works, though. I mean, obviously you're communicating. That's my kind of guy there, scrapping together. Bob went out there to go and visit you guys, right? That's there's a group of people that seem real and very down home. Is the scrapping together gang. I wouldn't mind going out there and visiting you guys if you didn't mind, I guess, with Bob. There's a Honda dealership in Greenland. No kidding. Well, I do know, like from watching YouTube videos. So a lot of people from Greenland, it being a European state, which surprised me. See how little I know. A lot of them have American pickup trucks that have been like heavily modified to ride around on the ice and the snow and whatever. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! Wow, that's cool. The Honda dealership. Wow, I didn't even know that. I heard that Honda and Nissan are doing very poorly, and they actually might merge, which Nissan doing poorly doesn't surprise me, but I was kind of shocked that Honda is not really doing the best. Because in my opinion, and I do kind of work on cars a little bit, I think Honda is actually better than Toyota. Put Guam on the auction block. No, you can't do that. Let's see, Pallet Man said, when I use my iPhone, I always say, hey Google, what time is it? And I can tell where my phone is within earshot. Yeah, but my Google app does not work very well. Hey Google. See? Hey Google. I do have the Google app on this phone that I got from Bob. I got There's my Scully and Mulder, the X-Files. I think that's the perfect wallpaper, screensaver, or whatever you want to call it, right? What else would you expect the king to have? But hey, how do you guys like my? I'm droning on. Maybe I should end this podcast or whatever. But my my peeking into, that's what I'll call it, fix and flip homes. Okay, I had a commenter kind of rip into me a little bit, like not badly, but it's like, what are you, jealous? I'm wondering. Let's see, John. Wonder how much taking the Panama Canal back would affect scrap prices, up or down, if supposedly China is running it now. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think it will make much of a difference because, I don't know, according to that Tom from the iScrap app, he's on the East Coast. A lot of the East Coast scrap goes to like Turkey and some Eastern European countries and even Pakistan and India. So it never even sees the Panama Canal. But a lot of the Midwest scrap actually ends up in American furnaces, electric arc steel furnaces, and gets turned into rolled steel and rebar, nails, building materials, and whatnot, stuff like that, castings. So any scrap, I guess, coming from America going to China would probably be stuff from like Florida and I don't know, the southern coast areas, Texas, maybe anything going down the Mississippi River, straight out into the Gulf of Mexico, and then around the Caribbean to Panama. But I think the United States needs to take back Panama Canal. That's that's an important strategic asset. It's just like the automakers. People bitch and complain about, oh, they're being bailed out, but it's actually a strategic industry that really can't be lost. Because, once you lose that, I mean, already there's a problem, keeping Taiwan because some weird reason Taiwan has the manufacturer lockhold on all the advanced chips and stuff. You would figure like that would be the domain of like Japan maybe, or even South Korea, but apparently not, or even the United States making at least 50% of that. But it's it's on Taiwan. Like, why? There's somebody that knows way more than any of us ever will. Let's see. Scrapping together. Well, paying me and going to bed tonight. Oh, all right. All right. Good night. There, scrapping together. The shovels that dug the Panama, this is Beauregard Canal, were made in Marion, Ohio. I can imagine. Marion Power Shovel. Yeah, Jimmy Carter gave away the Panama Canal, and he just died, and of course, they're not. When somebody dies, they go from being, he was a son of a, like that John Cena. People really hate that guy. To like, when and if he dies, oh, he was a great man. He was a philanthropist. So all the stuff about Jimmy Carter was how great his legacy was, building houses for Habitat Humanity, which is not a bad thing. I mean, that's good. That's nice and stuff. But what a what a clown show! Jimmy Carter gave away the Panama Canal, and there was a whole lot of other things. The the Iranians took the hostages and kept them until he was gone. All these world troubles have always been. But me as a scrapper, okay, and scrappers deal with metal. Think about it. A lot of these problems really exasperated themselves when the United States got off of, stopped making coinage out of silver, and we got off of the gold standard and just started printing and issuing paper. So think about it. We're sending our dollars, our paper, our work. Whoa, the voice slipped. Ooh. We're sending our paper to the Middle East, our worthless paper, and we're getting their gold. We're getting their oil, their black gold. We're getting something as a true useful commodity, and they're getting, what are they getting? There's another laugh thing, just like buying Greenland. They know it though. That's the not funny thing. And for decades they've been pissed off. They're not getting gold medal from us. They're getting I mean, it's maddening to think about, but you gotta hand it to our government. they are, they are incredibly ballsy. Giggle snort. They're getting they're getting worthless paper. And we're getting their black gold. So, all those problems that you see and have in the Middle East, they are a direct or indirect result of that. Even though, yes, the Middle East has been on fire for 5,000 years. Long, long, long before Muhammad and Islam and all that other stuff. The people of that area have been fighting with each other and will be fighting with each other long, long after we're gone. But in the current times, they're being sucked dry. And being handed worthless paper. There's going to be nothing under. There's going to be nothing under the sand. Don't I sound evil? But I'm just trying to doing that. Trying to stress the point that there was evil of our government to go off of the gold standard. Let's see. I can barely Shiloh? I've never understood giving our Panama Canal away. Neither did I. Yep, many Americans died building it. Well, that is Jimmy Carter for you. And while I was having that laughing session there, I'm trying to like express the point that there's some bizarre diplomacy that goes on that none of us understand, other than ultimately somebody else is getting screwed and it's not us, but we are screwing ourselves by giving away stuff like that, like a real asset, the Panama Canal. I can only imagine that it was given away to help create civil, like I don't know, like uh, I don't know, like a more stable society or something. Or have some other foreign entity invest in it and quote own it for 30 years, 40 years, and then just come in and take it back. Thank you very much. Something's going on there. And it's nothing funny. Yep, John is saying, yep, we need it. Well, yeah, to allow it to just sit there is very dangerous. Remember Rose Carter shaking hands with John Wayne? Ooh, John Wayne Gacy? No. Is that for real? What a super, like, unbelievably creepy guy. That John Wayne Gacy guy? That, like, wow. I just remember when I was a kid hearing all the stories about. I guess he was married or something like that. Married and he had a kid or something like that, and the wife would occasionally complain about odors in the house, and John Wayne Gacy was some sort of like building contractor or construction guy or whatever, and he would claim that the sewer was backing up, and like how the cops and the FBI were not onto the guy, and he was able to like actually buried people under his driveway in front of the house, like wow. Ghoulish. It was probably like most ghoulish characters. A lot of like strangely ghoulish people have come from like the Chicagoland and Wisconsin area, in my opinion. You know, in history, like the Unabomber, he was from Evergreen Park, which is a suburb of Chicago. There's a creepy guy. Then you got all these fanboys of that weirdo that um, killed that executive in New York. Like, what the hell is that all? But that's not good for society to glom onto somebody like that, like some kind of anti-hero. It's no good. It's very dystopian. Rose Carter. I'll have to Google that. My World War II family cursed Jimmy Carter. This is Beauregard every day. Yes, John Wayne Gacy was the JCs, and a photo is on the internet, all smiles, shaking Rose's hand. Here, let me put my gadget down here, and I am going to go and Google that right now. Thank you very much. Can you guys hold on for a second? Hey Siri. Image of Rosalind Carter shaking John Wayne Gacy's hand.
Here are some images of Rosalind Carter shaking John Wayne Gacy's hand from the web.
Holy
Take a look.
Christ! No way! Ooh. Oh, it disappeared. Damn it. I should have searched the web. Hey Siri. Image of John Wayne Gacy shaking Rosalind Carter's hand. Ooh.
Here are some images of John Wayne Gacy shaking Rosalind Carter's hand from the web.
Alright, let me click that. Oh my God! Reactions. Tribute. Oh, this is stock images. Damn it! Don't you hate that when you're like Googling stuff and it disappears? Image of John Wayne Gacy shaking Rosalind Carter's hand. I went to Google this time instead of Siri because Siri is too wonky. Ew, look at that. You're right. Wow. Fuck that. Sorry about the bad language. Those people are. Don't let nobody fool you. That innocent seeming peanut farmer from Plains, Georgia. Them people were not right. The serial killer clown. Yep. Not to mention Miss Lillian and Billy Carter. Ew. Then. Wait. Pallet Man is saying them, not him, or I'm taught to text isn't the best sometimes. Wow. Oh, let's see. Sorry, man. Disappeared to go read. This is Pallet Man. Comments from my latest compilation video. My latest. Some people like him, and some people get very, very angry that I edit out videos. Yeah, no, okay, on that thing right there, I had somebody call. I had I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Hang on a second. Damn it. Oh, Mean Genie is the name of. So you go look at the responses to the video. He's saying that I'm jealous and stuff like that of people that are fixing and flipping homes. No, not. You can't. I'm not really jealous or envious. I mean, you know, I don't have that kind of money. I'm dreaming of it. We can all dream, but no. My point of the videos of the fix and flip houses is that your standard fix and flipped house using materials from Menards or any other home improvement store, typically, or wherever you get your materials from, doesn't matter, adds no true real value to the house. All right, yes, that kitchen looks modern and and sharp and nice. It's got new paint, tile, new flooring, like typically one of those floating type floors that you can install over God knows what, okay? Whatever kind of wreckage that you're papering over, all right, is still there. Only you can't see it because there's this floating floor that's very trendy and modern in the way. All right, now some new tile, some cheapo but very impressive looking Samsung appliances like a refrigerator and stove, all crap that will be out by the curb being collected by me in about 2 years, because that stuff just doesn't last at all. And a whole fresh coat of paint throughout the house. You're not adding any real value to that home, and you're making that house cost a whole hell of a lot more, making it even more unattainable to young people. Here, there's a house, I did a video, I didn't upload it yet, in my very own neighborhood. It was just recently sold back in March for $200,000. I guess the people got divorced that lived there, and they did a quick sale on it and got rid of it. And here comes the fix and flip people that bought it, and they didn't even like replace the driveway or the roof on the garage or anything like that. They didn't do any landscaping per se other than cut the grass. What they did was they went inside and they painted it. Looks nice. Looks beautiful, actually. Completely redid the kitchen. All the kind of work that you can do without getting a permit, because you're not doing anything structural. You're not adding any real value to the house, in my opinion. Yeah, you're making the house look pretty. It looks more beautiful. But they sold it for $175,000 more than what they paid for it. So that $200,000 house, which was about what a house should go for in my area, sold in just 2 or 3 months for $375,000. Or no, wait, $380,000. Because on the Zillow app it says that it closed at $380,000, and they were asking, the fix and flip people were asking $375,000. So they got $5,000 more for who knows what. No real value added to that house. This is a huge part of the problem for like young people. I got young people, so I guess I got a dog in the fight, okay? I got 3 young people, and 2 of them are, I would say, the youngest is not ready for a house, too young. Not too young to buy it, 19 years old. I mean, she could buy a house, I guess, right? But the other ones, are in the mid and, whatever, 20s. And, well, the middle daughter, she bought a house with her boyfriend, and it was one of those fix and flips. They've been living in it for about 1.5 years, and wouldn't you know it, all I hear now is about complaints about the house. This doesn't work. This seems a little weird. This seems broken. I'm like, It's no different than me taking an automobile and giving a quick once-over, a detail, maybe fix a few dents and stuff like that, etc. I added no real value to that automobile. I just made it more attractive. And I'm charging 10 times as much as what I paid for it. But in that case, we're just talking about an automobile. We're not talking about a house, which is like life-changing. My son, this is Scrap and Pallet Man, 19. I didn't realize that our youngest are the same age. Oh, I thought you remembered that, but I guess maybe not. You probably forgot. Yeah. Your daughter is a little bit older than Jesse. Yeah, Jesse's yeah. he he looks older than 19 though. He's got, he's definitely got a few of the same or similar autistic type traits that Nora has. 'Cause we're we're all a little, except for the wife, we're all a little bit autistic in this house. my my middle daughter, her her autistic uh, quirks and features are a little bit more obvious than the other two, which is kind of unusual because females are able to mask it better than males. And Nora's you don't notice so much until there's a situation where she has to talk, and she has what's known as selective mutism. So if she doesn't know you, she ain't talking to you. I'm sorry. No, no offense. She doesn't mean any. It's just that she cannot talk to you. And people are like, well, she probably could scream out the word help. Um, yeah, she probably would, but before she absolutely had to or needed to, she would probably be fighting demons not to. Oh, wow, your daughter, Pallet Man's daughter, is 28? Oh, so your daughter is like almost Dominic's age. I didn't know that. There's like a 10-year spread in between the kiddos, which that's kind of cool. Because I'm not disparaging anybody, but I never understood like people having like two or three kids like right on top of each other, like cranking them out. So it's like I got a kid in second grade and another one. The middle one's in third grade and the oldest is in fourth grade or fifth grade. You know what I mean? It's like there's like a 12-year span in between mine, which honestly, even though my wife, I don't think is capable of having another kid. Even though there's a lady in the UK, I don't know, about 10 years ago, she was 65 years old and she had a kid naturally. Like she didn't have a C-section, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. Google it, I guess. Right? We always fact check myself because the king might be making something up here, but pallet man features. I like that term. Yeah, like like Doug DeMuro, that car guy. He reviewing like old used cars. We're gonna review this, uh, 2008 Audi, A3, and we're gonna go over some of its quirks and features. One of the quirks, the cooling fan doesn't come on, so we blew a head gasket. Ha 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 ha. Your average German car. uh, what was that I was going to Google? I was going to Google something. See, I told a stupid joke. I remarked to Pallet Man. I like that term, quirks and features. I forgot what I was going to Google. I'm an idiot. Yep, attention deficit has its features. It sure does. And one of those features drives people mad. You know, like people being like coworkers, employers, family members. You know, the people that kind of matter to us. They're not really keen on the attention. Oh, I was telling. See, damn it! I need now. Now I'm like, I'm hitting my stride with my live. I was telling my. See, I have a hard time telling stories because I start going all over the place, like a squirrel. My worst job ever was being a realtor. Oh, no kidding. I didn't know. I didn't know that you were a realtor. My attention deficit features were hated by those buyers and sellers. I would get lost consistently. Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm like, staring off into space and imagining myself in that job capacity, I would be horrendous. I would probably be worse than you because there would just be too many squirrel moments. Things that I'd be drawn to. Wow, that's cool. Like as the as the buyer and seller are like looking at each other, and the seller is hoping that the buyer doesn't notice the crack over there or whatever. And I would notice the crack and go, wow, I never seen a crack in the wall kind of like that. I wonder if the foundation is settling. We haven't had rain in like about 4 years, so the water table is probably dropped. That would be me, not thinking about it until after. After 17 turns, we finally found the house we were looking for, and we have 5 houses to look at on Sunday afternoon. That's funny. Oh my God, that's a lot of houses to look at. If you if you're trying to sell one person on a house, they're like dragging 17 houses. That basically means that they're dragging you all over creation to look at a freaking house. Make up your mind already. I was a realtor from '97 until 2001. Well, it lasted 4 years, which is about uh, 3 years and 11 and a half months longer than it would have lasted me, which would put me at about 2 weeks. Before phones had GPS. Oh, I guess, how did you get around? Just like with a paper map that you can open up but can't like quite fold back together unless you're a female? the the man way of doing it was just like force folding the paper map, going against all the creases. Either that or getting pissed off and like just taking the whole thing and wadding it in a ball, like an episode out of like a John Candy movie, where he goes from acting like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy to being all whoa, 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 whoa. A big fat guy getting all pissed off. Funny as hell. I got around with lots of U-turns and maps. I find the paper map because it's spatial, kind of easier to use when it comes to like which direction to turn than using the map that's on an iPhone. Like the iPhone the little blue ball on the street is you, and there's arrows pointing where to turn, but I'm not looking at the name of the street. And I always turn in the wrong direction, and I gotta do a U-turn in somebody's driveway, and turn back around, and hope I don't get lost. And when I'm doing it with one of my worn out vehicles, I'm always worried I'm gonna break like a tie rod or something, because I'm doing more turnabouts and stuff like that than I don't know. Is the Pallet Man the only person here in the chat? Probably. Everybody else got like, oh wow, cool. Scrap Kingdom has gone live, and then after a while I'm like all over the place, and this is like, yeah. Squirrel. Anyway, oh, I know what I wanted to say was, well, I don't know how it's connected there. I forgot what it's supposed to be connected to, but when I was a kid, when I was in grade school, I would drive everybody nuts. My autism. There's that song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. All right, innocent and simple enough, right? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. No, there's no dirty words or anything in it. You would say it glows, blah, blah, blah. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. Okay? Then I would fixate on the, because all the kids in school would kind of make fun of my autistic quirks and features. And I would come home and tell my parents that all of the kids are making fun of me. And my parents would say, all of the kids? And I'd be like, there's a moment of silence. I'd be, yes, all of the kids. Are you sure it's all of the kids? I would think like 1001, 1002. Yes, Mom, all the kids are making fun of me. And my dad would insist that that's impossible. All of nobody. I'm like, no, really. Then I would break off into song to prove they're wrong. I'd be like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. All is used in the song about a supposed reindeer being made fun of. Here I am, Mom, being made fun of. No, I'm not the reindeer. I'm your kid. And yes, all the kids are making fun of me. Well, they would get peeved when I would use the song bar, or whatever you want to call it, stanza, all of the reindeer. So sometimes I would get pissed to the point where I would grab an actual sock. I would make a sock puppet, and the sock puppet would be singing the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer song, and I'd be nodding a head to the sock puppet. Man, if I did not get hit senseless by my mom and dad on so many occasions doing that. Wow. When I would do that, I think they took that as like the lowest blow possible. Challenging the word all, because that's something that you should avoid, in ordinary conversation. all and never, like two very 100%ing type of words or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the right terminology would be for it. So flash forward to me being a dad, I would take like the stuffed animals and not do the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer thing, but I would make them talk and like the Barney doll, or whatever, or whatever stuffed animal. And Dominic and Nora really liked that. Like just an impromptu like puppeteering thing. But Eileen, being also autistic, she would just stare at it. Like, Dad, what are you doing? There'd be like zero reaction to it whatsoever. The other two would giggle and laugh along with it. They thought it was, little kids now. I'm talking, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 years old even. Doesn't doesn't really work on a 12-year-old. But when they're single digits, it's fun. Enough of that, I guess. People have all tuned out. I am not shocked. King, you've gone too far. We went from talking about the Panama Canal to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm checking out. But I do like this impromptu live. It actually got a response from my brother, who didn't post anything on here, but instead texted me, and the text panel came down over the screen. All caps. He was pissed. Oh God, Rippy. Fun. Right? Having fun with the kids when you're older, but then, in a in an extremely passive aggressive way, ripping on your mom and dad because you're fucked in the head, but you don't know why. Not really fucked in a bad way, but like there's something different going on here, Mom. I'm autistic. No. Which they didn't really get into the autistic thing until like I don't know, like the last probably just around the turn of the century, if that. Not even. Maybe 2005 or whatever. Because even in the 90s, it wasn't such a thing. Shit, I remember in preschool, they wanted to hold my daughter back. I'm like, nope. You know why? Because that shit happened to me in kindergarten and first grade. Look at that, I'm putting that all for the whole world to hear. I was flunked out of kindergarten. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is because I experienced that with my daughter. They try. I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. Can you imagine? She was in four-year preschool, and they wanted her to redo preschool again. I'm like, nope. They're like, she's just going into the playhouse and hiding in the playhouse for. She's not listening to or participating in any of the songs, but yes, she is. She's doing it in her own way. She's hiding in the playhouse and she's watching through the little window that's in the plastic Little Tykes playhouse, and she's doing it her way. We're not repeating the grade. We're not going over this shit again. See, you can get away with, in my opinion, okay? Sure, I could be probably proven wrong, but in my opinion, I sent her to Catholic school, and it's a private school. You can get away with a little bit more leeway as a parent with a private school than you can with a public school. Just one man's opinion and one man's experience. The public school kind of, yeah, you have less. That's just my opinion and my experience. You have a little less power. You can't really go into office and give the people that are running the show an earful without fear of getting arrested. But at a private school, you can get away with it, or at least I did. I don't know. As long as you're nice to the nuns that are running it. I think they appreciate that part. But yeah, they wanted her to redo. I'm like, no, I ain't doing this shit. That I think I'm proud of myself because my daughter Eileen graduated high school at 17 years old. Okay, and had I let happen to her what happened to me, she would have been 19 years old graduating high school, like I was. Okay. Super senior. You know what? By the time you're that old in school, kids don't give a shit anyway. They don't even, unless you bring it up, they don't even realize that, they're 17, 18, and the one 19-year-old, graduating high school. Larry Meyer, the nuns, oh, evil penguins. Yeah, they can be quite, they can be evil. You just have to, you have to kind of psych op them. Hey, wait a minute. You know what? I have a video that I haven't uploaded, and I'm scrapping, Larry, I'm scrapping a Catholic church, okay, in this video. I haven't uploaded it. I'm all done with it now, but one of the reasons why I didn't upload it was I was still taking stuff out of it, just in case somebody watching the video recognized the church. I didn't want them going there and attempting to collect any scrap. So I wanted to make sure that I had all the material, all the material. Anyway, they actually had a posted piece of paper on the wall with a QR code on there for Scrap Man. And it had all the altar, the Catholic Church altar, like things that are made out of metal, except for the chalice. And I was reminded about 20 times, everything here except for the chalice. The chalice, which is made of about 4 pounds of 10-karat gold. I kind of wanted that to fall into the back of my truck so bad. I could have been done scrapping for the rest of the year. But no, I wasn't allowed to have that, so that stayed. No worries. But well, my point is, evil penguins. So there was a nun, you know, without the habit and uniform on in there, and I pointed to her, you know, all the scrap metal that actually happened to be on the side of the altar on the on the St. Mary's side of the altar. There is a sides to the altar. There's the Joseph side and then the St. Mary's side. Well, anyway, all right. I pointed at it. I go, so all this crap right here too, right? And she said, her eyes lit up. I didn't put that on video. Her eyes lit up like saucer plates. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, boy, was this stupid or what? I just said the word. I said the word crap on the altar. She legit said, that'll be 20 Hail Marys. So, I had to sit in the pew and say 20 Hail Marys. For real. No bull crap. I actually had to say 20 Hail Marys for saying the word crap as a scrapper. Actually, I can't believe that I actually did something stupid like that. I mean, like, what am I thinking? I'm talking to a nun, and they're being gracious enough to give me copper and brass and steel and stuff like that. I got like all the you know, like the votive candle thingies that you light, you know, like when you go to church by yourself or whatever, you want to say like a prayer or whatever. They gave me those. They were kind of like beat up condition, so I scrapped those and some other stuff. But I did keep, because I can't see getting rid of the communion host holder. I still have that, and the body and blood of Christ, you know, cups where, you know, you put like the priest puts the wine and the big host on the edge of the cup. They're made out of pure copper. I'm like, I can't scrap these. I'm thinking to myself, I can't scrap them. I need the money, but I can't scrap. I still have them. I just couldn't scrap them. They're not really in that great a condition. So I had a couple of people saying, maybe you should give them to another church. I'm like, no, they're throwing these away or scrapping them because all that stuff, all that altar stuff was actually so worn out that it's just junk. Yeah. Well, we're gonna hurt me. Drop and give me 20. You're not kidding, man. I hit for real. And it's a real video. I just haven't uploaded it yet. Nice Jewish memories, King. Catholic guilt is powerful. It sure is. I just can't scrap the communion host thingies and the you know, the anybody that's Catholic, or even if you're not Catholic, you're familiar with the Catholic altar and those two cups that they have up on the altar. Well, these particular ones are made out of copper, and as much as I as much as I want the money from the copper, I can't quite bring myself around to bringing it there. Maybe I'll put that in a shits and giggles video in the not too distant future. Nice Jewish memories, King. like like the stereotypical Jewish voice. This might be worth a little money, man. I don't know. all right, all right. Well, as a Jewish person, don't be too jealous of all the ornate trinkets that are not found in like those mega churches. The the only ornate trinket in that one really big mega church in Texas is that creepy, smiling, swindling guy. What the hell is that guy's name? He's got like that tight, curly perm, and then that stupid perma smile. This gigantic, giga mega church. He's got like this multi-gazillion dollar house that he refused. Yeah, I don't know, this mega church that he refused to let hurricane victims reside in there and get out of the elements. That that's evil. You're you're no man of God, dude. You you worried about your stupid mega church, the carpet getting soiled? But people still flock to that, dude. So who knows? As a Catholic, I feel I could I could lob a few grenades his way. You're a clown, dude. You got this gigantic, beautiful building. You could have let thousands and thousands of people inside there, just like Jesus would. Texas-sized church, yeah. What's the name of that place? There's that church in Texas has got some kind of a name. What the hell is the guy's name? That's what Google's for, right? When you can't think of whatever the hell. Where's it? Hey Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Mega church pastor from Texas.
Most people know that Texas is home to Lakewood Church, with its famous Pastor Joel Osteen.
That guy.
This answer is from whydepencountry.com.
Joel Olstein. I'm afraid. I'm afraid Joel is probably not going to enter the pearly gates. I don't think God really cares too much about his mega mansion, but his his horrific actions. There he is, with that weird, creepy smile. His weird actions as a man of the cloth. He refused to. God gave him. That was God working right there. God gave him an opportunity, and he completely turned it down. Uncool. So is that for that reason, and I don't care if I lose 1,000 subscribers. That mega church is nothing but a scam. Like I said, I don't really think God cares too much about his gigantic, huge house, whether that's sinful or not. I think that's like nothing in the eyes of God. It doesn't matter one way or another. It's his actions when people needed him the most. He was nowhere to be found. that's where, I have a disagreement, with people about materialism and stuff like that. That I don't think God really cares one way or another. If you have, I have $1 billion. I don't think God really. It's it's your earthly actions that God cares about. Especially something like that. That was a low move. Funny, not funny. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. In death, we are all the same. True, but uh, I can't imagine in death what the what what Jesus or God or whatever would judge and react to that guy's earthly actions when he had clearly all the resources to take care of his quote flock and then some, and I guess they were not worthy of dirtying his carpeting. His carpeting, but that, by the way, no matter what, whether people from a hurricane trample all over it and it gets dirty and it has to be ripped up, it's getting ripped up either then or 5 or 10 years from now, or from whenever that happened, and it's all going into a dumpster anyway, right? From dust to dust, not just people, but everything. So the things in the end really don't matter as what you did with those things. And that dude gets a very low score on my book. Not that God cares about my book, but why is this thing lit up like that? Or weather notification. All right, guys. I think the show ran off the rails and went way longer than it was supposed to. Wow. Let me know in the comment section if I should ever do these lives again, because I'm all over the place and I should do a better job of moderating. I got only one click from Google about a comment, and that was from Jinx Clover about Gordon Ramsay. I could listen to Gordon Ramsay bitch all day long. So I guess the word bitch was nice surprise to visit you, Marty. Thank you. All right, dude. Same. Look forward to seeing you in the comment section of my seemingly meandering videos, which I'm going in circles. One more thing. It's like the Columbo guy. One more thing. Hey Siri. What time is it in Melbourne, Australia?
It's 3:07 p.m. in Melbourne, Australia.
Ooh, they're well into New Year's Eve there. Wow. Australia's in the future. The day is, hey Siri. Weather in Adelaide?
It's currently clear and 84 degrees in Adelaide, Australia.
Wow, it's nice there. Damn, I'm jealous. Hey Siri.
Hmm?
Time in Adelaide, Australia?
In Adelaide, Australia, it's 2:38 p.m.
Yeah, they do this weird thing in Australia. There's like half time zones, like half hour. Hey Siri,
Mm-hmm.
time in Melbourne, Australia?
It's 3:08 p.m. in Melbourne, Australia.
See what I mean? There's like a half an hour. What the hell? Well, I'm from the States, States and Canada do hour time zones. They don't do, 1 hour time zones. They don't do half hour. What the hell is that all about? There must be a reason behind it. Like Trump wants to get rid of, he wants to get rid of daylight savings time, which was a bad idea because, I don't know, let's just talk about my area, the Chicagoland area. That means the longest day of the year, June 21st, the sun will actually rise at the sun will rise. The earliest it will rise will be that day, June 21st, and it will rise at 4:17 a.m., which is like 3 hours or so before people are rolling off to work, or at least two. And you sure as hell can't make all kinds of noise like cutting grass and stuff like that at 4 a.m. in the morning, even though the sun is about to rise. So you have quite a few hours of the day completely wasted where it should be, I don't know. Never mind. If the sun gets up at 4:17 in the morning, that means an hour before that, you're gonna have, um, varying lightnesses of dawn, starting at around 3 in the morning. Like really? It's too damn early, dude. If anything, Trump should keep daylight savings time all year long. Although, in the darkest part of winter, around now, that wouldn't work very well either because in my area, like for the next 10 days, the sun doesn't get up until 7 a.m., and that would mean the sun wouldn't be getting up until 8 a.m. or 8:19 a.m., which is kind of late in the morning for your sunrise. I know there's places like Alaska and stuff like that, but all right, that's one state, and that's really far north, and they have days during the summer where the sun never sets, and nights in the winter where you never even see the sun at all. So that shit don't matter for that. And with that, I think we're gonna go. See y'all.